Now, this figure that you have in the textbook explains to us that the amino acids that we get from the proteins that we consume, once they enter into the cells of our body, they can join together to form various kinds of proteins. For example, in the skin, you'll find the protein called melanin. In our nails and all, we'll find keratin. In our bones, we have a protein called osine. In in our cells, the amino acids, they join together to form lipoproteins, which form the cell membrane, and also various other enzymes present in the cell. Our pancreas produce insulin and trypsin, which are digestive juices, by joining various different types of amino acids in a different sequence. The pituitary gland, which is one of our hormonal gland, produces various kinds of hormones. The muscles, they produce, or they use amino acids to produce flexible fibers called actin and myosin, which bring about movement of our muscles, whereas the blood produces hemoglobin and antibodies, okay, which can fight various diseases with the help of amino acids. Here are some important points you need to know about lipids. Commonly, we know them as fats. Lipids are formed when fatty acids and alcohols, they chemically bond with each other. So when we consume fats, they get digested and they are converted into the simple forms of fatty acids and alcohols back again. These fatty acids are the substances from which we derive our energy. Besides that, fatty acids can also be used by the cells to produce certain substances. We had seen phospholipids earlier, phospho and lipids, which are necessary to form plasma membrane or the membranes of cells. So without a cell membrane, a cell would not exist. Also, some hormones are made out of fats. For example, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, aldosterone. These are made using the fatty acids. Also, the covering around the nerve cell. Last year we had seen the structure of the nerve cell, and the covering around the nerve cells is made out of fats or lipids. Another important thing you need to know that 1 gram of lipids gives us 9 kilocalories of energy. And if we have excess of lipids or fats, they get stored in the adipose tissue of our body. This you had seen in the last year, the 9th standard. Our nutrition also contains a very important constituent called vitamins. Now, from vitamins, we don't really get any energy, but they are very important for our body, for our well being and health of our body. So, vitamins are of two types we need to know: water soluble vitamins and water insoluble or other fat soluble vitamins. The water soluble vitamins are vitamin B and vitamin C. And vitamin B is very important because it is used to produce FADH2, the energy currency that we have studied about. Okay, vitamin B2 is called as riboflavin, and this vitamin B2 is used to produce FADH2. Similarly, vitamin B5, which is also called as nicotinamide, is used to form NADH2. This much you must know. Whereas the fat soluble vitamins are vitamins A, D, E, and K, and these are also very, very important to our body. Last but not the least is water and fibers, which are also part of our diet, and they are important to our body. Water content in our body is about 65 to 70% of our body is made out of water. In fact, every cell is made up of at least 70% by weight of water. And even if we have a little loss of water from our body, it causes great disturbance. That is why water is a very important nutrient. Fibers, on the other hand, also are very important. Man cannot digest fibers. Unlike ruminant animals, we cannot digest fibers. But still, they are very important because they not only help us to digest other substance, they are also very important and help us to digest or throw the waste out of our body. And we find fibers in fruits, vegetables, and cereals.